Gotta relax.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
Human music. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Alrighty-roo, hello ladies and gentlefish, we are here, we're back, once again, we are doing Drawtober today. So for those who don't know, throughout October, there's a series of different art prompt based challenges for the artistic community. It was started by a whole group of different people with the intention of getting artists to do more art and getting people who don't normally do art to engage with art making a little bit more seriously, which is awesome. I'm just going to move my camera ever so slightly so you can see a little more of me. There we go. Oof. Sorry. Just eaten, so I'm a bit gassy. Yeah. Anyway, so what that means for you guys, I will be making 2 artworks every single day. One of them will be going, well, both of them are going to be going onto my Instagram. One of them I'm going to be doing off stream, and one of them I'll be doing on stream every single day. So I'm going to stream every single day, all through October. Lucky you guys. How you going, Max? Hope you're having a good day. Based on a series of prompts, usually single word, but sometimes 2 word, I have to create an artwork based on that idea. The first one for Drawtober, so we'll just put Drawtober. Oh, Lizzie Bell. So the first one we've got is orange. Is the first prompt. Orange. So we're going to create an interesting orange design. And I figured what I would do for this first one, just because I'm not super prepared for it, and I haven't had a whole lot of time to think about something creative and interesting, I figured I'd just make an orange. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my markers, and then I'm going to go over the top of it with pencil to see if I can do a interesting merger of like texture, pencil design to get like a nice amount of detail in there while still getting vibrancy of color. So this is a little bit an experiment, a little bit like playing around. So that's the plan we've got for today. Hopefully that works out. If I don't like it, what I might do is do a second artwork that will then go up on the Instagram. I'm also doing Tattootober, which is Tattoober. Tattoober. And Tattoober, or Tatoba, I haven't figured out how I want to say it yet, because I came up with it, is basically I'm going to try and create tattoo designs and then ink them onto synthetic skin using a tattoo machine, which I've got set up. At the moment, I won't be doing all of those on the stream. Those will probably be mostly off stream. But if you guys want to see that as a thing, I can absolutely do that and set this table up to do tattoo stuff as well. So we'll have definitely drawing on the stream, definitely some digital art on the stream, and then we're also potentially going to have some tattoo stuff on the stream. I don't think I have any of my examples of my tattoo work here, unfortunately. I think they're all over on the side over there, and I really can't be bothered picking them up, because we're on a bit of a time limit here. Max says, hey Lizzie Bell.
Oh, hello. I'll be back at my phone soon to actually reply, but...
She's just getting ready for drinks tonight. It is drinks night.
Friday night drinks.
Friday night drinks. So we don't usually stream on a Friday. I will be streaming Fridays now because of Drawtober and for Drawtober. So feel blessed and lucky. This won't happen. Oh. Anyway, so we're gonna start drawing. We're gonna make something good and interesting. At the moment, it's just an orange, so that's not particularly interesting, but that's what we're doing, so have fun with it, I guess. Slightly sorry, not really. Let me know, ladies and gentlemen, if you can't hear the music in the background. I know it's quite faint at the moment, so I'll turn it up. I just wanted to get the talking out of the way. And then the only other thing, it's probably not super important just yet, but if anybody redeems like one of the D&D things or something like that, at this point, I'm probably not going to do it tonight, just because we're on a bit of a time limit here. But in future, if you wanted to sort of sabotage the Drawtober thing, we could consider something like that. But yeah, so we're just roughing out the shape of an orange at the moment. Hey, Frax! First pick for Drawtober is an orange. We're doing an orange. So orange is the prompt. I was gonna try and think up something clever and fancy, but honestly I couldn't be bothered because I forgot it was October, to be honest. So we're just going with something simple, and then we're gonna work our way up to the fancy things. But yeah, feel free to check out the Instagram throughout the month as things get a little bit more interesting. Draw the annoying orange. That's been vetoed by the wife. I'll be honest, I haven't watched much of the annoying orange, mainly because it was annoying, which I think is kind of fair. I'm gonna bring up an orange reference photo. This is already getting weird. Orange fruit. I know what an orange looks like, but I could have just put an actual orange in front of me. I'm trying to get like an interesting one with a lot of texture in it. There we go. That's sort of what we want. Something like that. That no was perfect. Yeah. That's exactly what you want from a partner. Knowing what she likes and what she doesn't, and being very clear and communicative about it. That's what you want. Alright, so that's sort of the approximate thing. We know our light source is up here, so we're going to have a nice big splotch of light there, another one there. We're going to have a little bit of reflected light down the bottom here. And then shading there-ish. Cool. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying the overlay. I am enjoying it as well. My intention with it was to create something that was sort of different and interesting enough to what people usually do, because Twitch has a very boxed aesthetic, and I was hoping for something a little bit more organic and interesting. Not to say that other people's aren't interesting, but just I like to be different and, you know, all that kind of bizzo. Gotta be unique. Or something. I got this like one hair in my mustache that keeps like stabbing into... They're quite coarse hairs and they keep stabbing into my lip. Very annoying. I do need to trim it. Yeah, I think those types of overlays work really well for like gamers, specifically people who are playing games and it's used to that kind of HUD type thing. Whereas for me as an artist, it seems a little too structured for the kind of ridiculous that I do. So I'm gonna try and keep with something that's a little bit in between that, a little bit more organic, a little bit more random. And it doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to work perfectly. So annoying when a random hair pokes you, or just sticks up in your beard. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's also not great with teaching, specifically, because kids will find anything to give you shit about, and having even just one hair out of place is suddenly grounds for, you know, dogpiling of horrific proportions. And within that kind of idea of being like as harsh as they possibly can be, then you notice it for the rest of the day. And you definitely can't change anything about it unless you like get a pair of scissors and just kind of like slowly trying to cut one side of your beard. It never ends well. I would not advise it as a solution to that problem. So this is actually probably going to be a fairly quick drawing. We're not going to try and do too much here to make it crazy or anything. We're going to start with markers. We'll go over the top of it with pencil, just to sort of mellow out some of the tones and give it a little bit more detail, and blend everything back together. And then we'll see how we go from there. To trying to make it slightly more interesting. How's that looking so far? Getting there, getting there. Pull my sleeves up. Maybe we won't have as much of the camera fluctuations. I've got the autofocus and white balance, auto white balance on this camera. You won Talia's copy of New World last night. Ooh la la. Congratulations. You already have a copy of New World though, don't you? You rarely win things. I thought you already had a copy of New World. But congratulations. That is awesome. Oh, you won her a copy from someone else's stream, so now you both have... That's awesome. Nice work. Hey, if you like artists, there are some artists that you can check out. Lots of very different styles in there, so, you know, if you like you like different sorts of things, you can check it out. Going from top to bottom, Charles does interesting. He's been called like Goblin Core, but I think kind of like Puppet Master is probably a better one to say. He's got an interesting aesthetic and a very interesting approach to art that I quite like. Mr. Mao is amazing. He does mostly digital art. Charles does traditional art mostly. Mao does mostly digital art, and he is an amazing artist. He does commissions and he does very, very detailed work. At the moment, he's working on some stuff for some games, some concept art for games, and some stuff for a couple of comic books as well, which is very cool. And I love his work. He's also an interesting dude, very funny. James B. Barrow is an awesome artist. He's a very wholesome dude. You will all love him if you want to go and check him out. He's obsessed with bees, which means that he's, a cool guy in our book. Art by Zestia. I always get the name wrong. She is amazing. She does witchy stuff, very comfy vibes, very chill. She's just a lovely human being. Absinthe does some very cool, like figure style art. Very detailed, very awesome. A lot of digital art there. Owen Tat draws. Owen does birds mostly, I believe. Hyper detailed traditional art type birds, and they're super awesome. Definitely worth checking out. And Geeks 101 does a little bit of everything. He's a variety streamer, plays some games, and also does some art streams, which is awesome. We do have a Discord. We have a group Discord. If everybody would like to go along. On Friday nights we do drinks and chats. People are more than welcome to join along with that if you wish. We don't usually do streams on a Friday as a group, just because we like to sort of collect together, but October is a special time for the artists in our community, so we're going to be busy doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you want to come and join along, please do. There's places to share art, there's places to share the memes, all sorts of interesting things there going on, and that's my Instagram if you want to check out my art. And breathe. all the things, guys. Yeah. So they don't drop until, X number of people are in the chat, and that means that they all drop at once. Which, is interesting. I set it up that way, so it's not like I can complain. Oh. I didn't clean my eraser from last time I used it. Bad artist. Alright, so we're just going to rub out the outside a little so that we've got a bit of a cleaner canvas to work with. Chuck in. Can be spinning, yeah. So the auto function of the camera is that it will automatically flip to try and orient to the position. And because when I shake the table, the gyroscope inside it moves, it thinks that it thinks that it's moving. It thinks that it's switching positions, and so it starts to try and flip back and forth whenever I'm erasing, which is very annoying. That's the way it goes. Yeah, so we've been trying to work fixing that up. But at the moment, it's just going to have to be what it is, unfortunately. Yeah, that's one of the only things about this particular type of camera that would sort of pause me from recommending it to too many people. It's a good camera, good detail. The autofocus on it's pretty good, but the big problem I'm having with it is that a lot of its auto functions. It is the I think it's the Logitech Stream camera. Let me just... Oh. Video capture device. New camera. The Logitech Stream Cam. Yeah. It's a good camera. I do actually like it. But the issue that I've sort of consistently had with it so far is that its auto functions can be a little aggressive. So it will autofocus and completely ruin its standard focus in favor of something that is not better. If it thinks that something's moving on the screen. So if I put too many dark things next to something really light, it'll just suddenly switch its focus. And it doesn't come with a program to change that or to like set specific focuses. I can do it via my computer's like profile, but then I have to manually update it every time I want it to refocus or recolor balance. And that is more annoying than just dealing with it occasionally going out of focus or occasionally like updating the white balance in a weird way. So that's one of the trials of working with this particular camera. Otherwise, I would advise people to get it because it's not too expensive, like not prohibitively so, and yet it's still a pretty good camera for streaming. So if you're looking to become a streamer and you want a good professional camera, it's pretty good. I would generally recommend it to people. If you're not going to be doing a lot of moving around too much, if you're going to be sit within a frame, it's more than good enough for that. If you're using it for corporate things, like going to be on presentations and streams and stuff like that, it's more than good enough for that kind of thing. But if you're doing art things, maybe do a little bit of extra research just to see if there is anything on the market that's worth getting otherwise. You have a C920 and a C922. And you're going to get a cam link soon to your DSLR. Ooh, very nice. Yeah. Yeah, if I had a good DSLR, I would probably use that on occasion, but I don't, so there we go. It is very dope. Hey, this stream is sponsored by Lizzie Bell. She's definitely human. That's my beautiful wife. She's awesome. We love her very much. She's just currently getting ready for Friday night drinks. Which, you know, I probably should be doing at some point. But I'm gonna finish this first because it's simple. Yeah, you do overdo Friday night drinks. Yeah. No. Us folk, terrible. We're so cute. It's a little sickening at times. But we can't help it, so. Alright, I think that's it for the marker. We might do one darker. You love Doctor Who. Well, we've got a few Doctor Who fans in the group, in the stream group. Myself and Lizzie Bell are big fans of Doctor Who. Gotta love some good British TV. You started over from season 1 and you love it. That's awesome. We need to start over again from season 1 because I actually haven't seen the first season of the reboot. I never actually got Eccleston, a good chance to watch Eccleston. I started in with Tennant, who's the next Doctor. Yeah, I know, it's weird. I don't know why that is. I don't know why I just never got around to it. But that is a thing that happened. And so... I know, I'm a terrible person. Alright. It's kind of sad, yeah. So I really love Doctor Who. I've seen all of what's been made so far except for Eccleston. So I need to go back and watch all of that. And the lovely Lizzie Bell has been organising that. So we will get around to it at some point. Just not right now. I've been missing out? Yeah. That's fair. It's on HBO Max, the whole series. Well, part of it is on Prime and part of it is on Stan, I believe, in Australia. So that's where we're going to be watching it, because we don't have HBO Max, unfortunately. A shame, because there's some good stuff on HBO Max, gotta say. I wouldn't mind. Yeah, that's true. Because quite a few of the streaming services... You have to pay extra, yeah. Quite a few of our streaming services get stuff that you guys don't, and then vice versa. Like, you guys get access to things that we don't. So, it's a weird mix of, like, sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse. So our orange is getting there. It's becoming quite orangey. Which is good, because that's what it's supposed to be. So what we've basically been trying to do thus far with this is we're building in the texture with our color gradient, with the types of color we're using within the shading. So we've gone from darker to lighter, and we put in this kind of stippling pattern so that we get the sort of the pits, the little the pores. That's what I'm looking for. The little pores, the pits of the orange on the surface of the skin. So that we've got that definition of texture, and so it shows up as this kind of like difference in light pattern as we go through. It's getting to the point where it actually looks fairly realistic, so I'm happy with that. I do need to just darken this bottom section a little bit, just because I think I went a little overboard with our lighting. That's a little better. The pencil is starting to show through, and I'm a little unhappy about that, but that's alright, because we can blend some of that back. Once we put our blend tool down to paper, just trying not to muddy the whole thing too much. And then we'll go over it again with some of the lighter yellow. And then I'm going to go in and try and like specifically lighten some of these areas that have this sort of texture differential inside them. And if we can get that done, theoretically it should look finished, and we'll be happy with it. I'm just going to color some orange down in the shadow here as a bit of a reflection. Rub out this bit. Ugh. This is why you always use a clean eraser. Otherwise you get these marks everywhere on your page. Make you super unhappy. Make me super unhappy anyway. Bit of an exaggeration, not super unhappy, just a little. I'm lying to my stream. This actually makes me super happy. One of my big things I've noticed throughout my life, and I don't know if anybody else feels like this, I've talked to some other artists and they've kind of expressed a similar sort of idea to me, mainly in passing. But that if I don't create something, if I don't make art, like at least every couple of weeks, it doesn't have to be every single day, but if I go a couple of weeks without making art, I notice I actually start getting depressed. And like things stop mattering as much. And I become quite introverted, and I become like a little mangy and a little short and snappy with people. I noticed this a lot when I was teaching. I didn't have time for making art, or at least I perceived that I didn't, because I was sort of super focused on trying to get the teaching stuff done. And so I ended up in this weird rut of like having ideas for art but never actually making anything with them, and it just got more and more depressed over time around not being able to create stuff. And so I've sort of found, as I've gone on and sort of engaged with it a little bit more seriously, this kind of idea of like the fact that I have to create things, the fact that I have to make art to be happy. And I've noticed as I do it more, as I engage fully with the idea of it, that it is actually true. Like, if I make something, I'm happy for the next day or two. And the more I make things, it doesn't necessarily like stack on top of each other of feeling better, but like it just prolongs that time of like a mild buzz of like, yeah, I made something and that's awesome. And people enjoyed it and that made me happy. And so I'm useful and I'm, you know, whatever else. And so that became... I know I don't have to be useful all the time, but that's how my brain works. And so that's where we're at. But what that kind of illustrated to me was that there are things in my life that are super important to me that I might not otherwise realize are as important as they are. Like, for other people, making art isn't super important. It's not, you know, it's not going to affect them if they just don't do it. Whereas for me, if I don't do that thing, it can make me supremely unhappy for quite a while. And the longer I don't do it, the longer I don't engage with it, the worse it makes me feel over time. And so there may be that thing for you, that like there is a thing that if you don't do, eventually it's gonna, you know, rip you apart kind of thing. And finding out what that thing is can be super helpful for your mental health, for, you know, recognizing that like you just need to do that thing sometimes. So if you can figure out what that thing is, kudos to you, and you will do a lot better with life, I think. For some people that's playing games, for some people that's, you know, spending time with their children, for some people it's going on bushwalks, watching movies, like watching good cinema, and like really engaging with it on a kind of like philosophical level. For some people it's playing sport. Like, all of these things affect us in ways that I think we probably don't really understand quite how profound it is. And obviously, you know, some people realize, like I realized, that it was art for me. But I think there's a lot of people out there who probably don't actually realize that they have that thing, and that, you know, every now and then when they are feeling down, that it's that. It's not just, you know, life isn't going the way you wanted it to or whatever. That there is actually a thing that your brain requires you to do in some capacity. And that can be linked to, you know, for me it's feeling a need of importance, feeling a need of being productive, or giving back to community or whatever, which it's its own problem that probably should be dealt with at some point. But just in terms of like the general idea, that there is something that has that much sway over you that you might not even realize it does. And I think that's fascinating as an idea. I've made this orange particularly orange rather than just yellow. But I don't mind that. I think that's a... It is, but oranges are sort of more yellow than they're orange. Not always. It's a stylistic choice, and I'm sticking to it. We're going to go with a little bit of this green yellow, just to sort of fix her in. And then we might go in with a little bit of this red, this kind of orangey red. And see if we can't just darken this section a little bit more. I just want to try and balance out the grey pencil I put in here. I probably shouldn't have done it with lead pencil. I probably should have done it with I probably should have gone in with one of these coloured pencils. The same colour I was going to use. But that's looking pretty good. I think that is an orange. What do we think, chat? Is that an orange? Looks like an orange to me. So we have done pretty well there. Our first tattoo tuber. I have no idea how I'm going to say it. I've got to figure it out. Our first tuber is bug. So we're thinking of doing an interesting, like, scaraby beetle type thing. And working from there. If anybody missed it, this is our oak, ash, and thorn. The color version that we've done. We're going to do color versions for not the egg. It is an art stream. Where are we? There we go. We're going to do color versions for our sexy pumpkins. Boop. There we go. Autofocus. We're going to do some designs for our sexy pumpkins and also for our regular pumpkins, which are on the next page. They are. Perfect. There we go. So we're going to do some traditional versions of those as well. Eventually, we're probably not going to do them this stream because I think we're just about finished up. Let's go back to, if I can find it. Do I do it at the back? Here is our prompt list. Here we go. Hey. All right, so we've got for our Drawtober stuff, we've got orange, mushroom, dragon, glowing, ivy, storm is the next 6 days. Pebble, there you go. Next 7 days. So for the next 7 days, we're doing those 7 artworks. For our tattoo stuff, we haven't decided what we're going to do. The first one is bug. The second one is definitely going to be angel. Angle. And then we're going to decide after that. I'm spending the rest of today basically coming up with prompts because October kind of snuck up on me. And then through November, we're going to do some other art drawy things, but the other art drawy things are going to be for men's mental health for Movember, yeah. I'm not myself going to be shaving my beautiful mo because I like it too much. So we're not going to be doing that, but I will be doing artworks based on some things around. There it is. Hey. Based on some things around men's mental health and ideas of masculinity and things like that. So I think those will be some interesting, fun artworks. This has been our first Drawtober stream. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I know I did. I'm gonna chuck you guys. Where is our Twitch thing? There it is. I'm gonna see if anybody else is doing Drawtober stuff, and I'm gonna put you over there. Oh, there we go. Perfect. First Drawtober with Mr. Mao. Hey. What's he doing? The first one is Worm. Oh, and he's got a great one. I love this. Yeah, so this is Stream Inc. 2021, which is an October streamer collaboration. I didn't get to it in time, so I'm not part of it, but that's fine. I'm happy to not be. Because I'm going to be doing my own thing. But please do give your love to these lovely people. They are awesome. Mr. Mal, there we go. Cool, setting up the raid now. So yeah, give your love to my lovely friend. I'm gonna set up a little raid thing. Thank you all for joining. You have been the best. And I'll catch you tomorrow when we do this all again. But I'll be a little bit more prepared then, so. Alright, so there's my B raid. Set up. Cool. All right, we're good to go. Thank you guys. Love you all. You're the best.